sudden silence. There is a hand around the city's throat, and it's unable to make a sound. Oh? Battle directly, eh? There are corporate troops all over the streets. How did things end up like this? What happened to Port Mika? It doesn't matter. If they get in our way, we get rid of them. Do I see something in this map? I don't think so. Anyone sitting? No? God, this is such a bright map. It's so hard to see if something is like suspicious. I feel like it's the same map. There's no weird stuff yet. Alright. Hello, you've got a delivery. Why is the door open? Hello? Anyone there? There's no answer. Is everyone busy with work in this town? It would be rude to just barge in, so I'll just leave it in the doorway. My work here is almost done. I hope I can go back and see the commander soon. Basti and Phelan arrive just after Sakura leaves. Zoe? They see the main door ajar and the mess inside the house. There are footprints all over Zoe's room. Both she and her computer are gone. Those corporate scums did it! Just look at these identical footprints. They are from the mass-produced dolls that the conglomerate uses. What should we do now, Basti? Phelan's used to deferring to her partner for her help. But Basti has always been the brains of the duo. The brains of the bugs, in fact. And she's always been an inexhaustible wellspring of ideas. But right now, at this critical moment, that brain has blue screen. What should we do? We didn't get the boys' print. The plan to steal the beacon failed, and now even Zoe's gone. But even if everything worked out, Darling doesn't want me anymore. Darling's abandoned me, even if I get the beacon. What a joke. I'm such a joke. We can still turn this around. We just need to save Zoe, beat those corpo goons up, ask Lydia for help. Or maybe we could ask Master for help. Okay. What do you mean okay? I suggested 4 plans. Which one is okay? Basti is clearly out of it. She can't focus herself as her thoughts drift from one to another. Much like quantum fluctuations. Okay, why are they quoting the final story of Girls Funny 1? That cannot be a coincidence. That is intentional. How old is Zoe this year? 12? 13? How old was she when we first met? She was 9 when Della died. Or was it when... I want to eat something sweet. There should be some pudding cups here, right? I'll just go steal a couple and pay her back some other time. What's this? Basti finds a heavy sack in Zoe's cabinet. It's filled with dark metallic objects. To her knowledge, Zoe isn't in the habit of hoarding scrap metal. No, this doesn't belong to Zoe. This belongs to someone else. Basti can see through the crude camouflage at a glance. There are bombs of some kind hidden inside. Suddenly, the words Duchevene mentioned come to mind. Bombs. Duchevene had been incomprehensible, but the other doll had mentioned C4 explosives, and she remembered that clearly enough. She had thought it was just a trick, but since that doll was one of the commander's people, she's inclined to believe what she said. The moment she makes the connection between those words and the objects before her, Basti's eyes light up. It's like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Go save Zoe. Alright, there's no we here. Go do it yourself. Huh? I know you can do it, Phelan. Protecting others is your specialty, and Zoe needs you right now. And if that doesn't work, ask the commander for help. Ooh. Everything that Weird Doll said was right. They are heroes. So once you save Zoe, remember to have them take her and the kids from the bugs far away from Connection HQ. But what about you? I'm going to put an end to everything else. Oh? Basti picks up the bag and jumps out the window. On the other side of the street from Zoe's home, 2 pairs of gloomy eyes peer out from behind a dumpster. We just barely managed to escape, so what are we doing here? Duchevene is holding repair tools, which she is using to slowly swap out her damaged parts. Because someone stole the C4. That's why Lydia's people didn't believe us. Since we've got no clues about what to do next, our only choice was to chase them here. Considering they're not the culprits who planted the bombs, I'm sure they got some intelligence of their own. Listen closely. Listen closely. They mentioned Zoe. Isn't she the girl who stole your stuff yesterday? Is this her home? Did she do it again this time? I went to sleep for a bit and you ended up getting robbed again by the same brat? What a disgrace. There's something more important than that. Zoe's been kidnapped. That brat did always love to steal and cheat. Serves her right. Damn, Sweeper. Even if she did something wrong, she needs to be punished by law. Vigilante justice is wrong. And besides, what if the person who did it was worse? Look, that evil blondie just left the house. And are those bombs we lost in that bag? So it was Zoe who did it. Was that also the reason why she was kidnapped? No, that's the key to unraveling this evil conspiracy. Quick, we need to go get them back. Dushevene emerges from hiding, but Paitusa's movement suddenly turns sluggish. Nixie, why aren't you letting me move? I'm not going. Eh? We went through all that trouble because that brat swapped our stuff. And besides, these Dela and Lydia humans are not connected to the commander in any way. Not my circus, not my monkeys. But is that really okay? I mean, Zoe did play us like fiddles. They played us like a damn fiddle! If we don't pay her back for it, what's going to happen to Sangbi's Ferry's reputation? Oh, alright, Paitusa. You're right. But that doesn't mean we'll be helping her? So we're paying her back by helping her? Strategist is right. There's more than one way to get back at people. First we save her, then we have our revenge on her. Sangbi's Ferry's reputation. You're right. There's no way we take this lying down. We went too easy on her last time. That's right. Justice yearns to be met. Let's go. Time to settle the score. Oh, Paitusa, you're such a cunning one. You better behave. Don't try anything smart. Piss me off and I will kill you. You're going to kill me in the end anyway, so what difference does it make? Oh! Yeah, tell him. Don't think too highly of yourself, brat. Each bullet in this gun costs $15 per shot. That's $15 more than you'll ever be worth. Much as Zoe is unwilling to perform this hack, the cold gun barrel pressed against the back of her head compels her compliance. Hurry up, stop dragging your feet. I know you have cracked the cipher already, so give the administrator access. While these guys look dumb, they know quite a bit about the beacon control center and the network, enough to ensure Zoe isn't tricking them at least. And so, Zoe has no choice but to reluctantly enter the cipher, handing over the painstakingly cultivated fruit of the bug's labor over the course of the night. Good, now shut down the beacon control center. Shut it down? But why? That will instantly disable all network services to this place and the entire surrounding region. Don't ask too many questions about that adult business and just do as you're told. That way you can play in the street with your little friends later. I haven't been told to kill you yet, so don't push it. Zoe realizes that the situation is more serious than she imagined. The beacon control center is critically important to Port Mika. It is the bedrock of this remote little town's prosperity, the door that leads to civilization. Nobody would want to shut it down, unless of course, the person doing it wasn't planning to play by the rules of civilized society. I can't do it. That would require authentication by an administrator's voice print. No problem, I knew this would happen. The henchman picks up his communicator. Boss, we'll need your acting skills again. It's another voice print passcode. Looks like we'll need to get that rich bitch's permission. Zoe realizes that they're planning to use Lydia's voice for their nefarious purposes, but at this point, even screaming about it won't help. There's nothing she can do now but pray that Lydia smells a rat. Lydia, what did I miss? This place is livelier than yesterday. Carl has to put real effort into getting through the crowd and reach Lydia. In the past, he would have cared little about the guests here. Now, however, he realizes that top figures from all the neighboring satellite cities are gathered in this place, as well as elites from the White Zone. He is no longer someone who can look down on the masses, and yet he believes he can climb higher than before. Carl, I'm so glad you could come. Ma, you look so presentable. Lydia teases the young man before her while scanning him for traces of his drunken binge from last night. Well, this is your ribbon-cutting ceremony after all. Of course I put my best foot forward. The truth is that his head is killing him. but he forces himself to put on his sunniest smile. Just a little more, the adrenaline of excitement helps him ignore the pain. In fact, he even feels somewhat detached from what's happening in front of him. Oh yes, do you remember what we were talking about last night? I was serious about what I said, so I prepared a contract. Do we have to do it right now? As you can see, I'm very busy at the moment, Carl. This isn't the time or the place. Once the ceremony is over... No problem, I can read it out to you. To be efficient, of course, our time is precious, so getting your permission is very important to me. His request is a little strange, but Lydia doesn't have the time to think further about it. There are many things she has to do, and her focus instead makes her ignore details that should have made her suspicious. If she can get rid of him by listening to his prattle, Lydia is more than happy to oblige. Alright, that was the first clause. What do you think? I agree, it's fine. And the second clause, agreed as well, but we need to limit the voting scope of the corporate representatives. The third clause, I agree. Lydia answers without really thinking about it. Her attention is focused on the ribbon cutting. Her assistant sends a message that preparations are ready. She mentally reviews her prepared speech and heads over to the lectern. Alright, those are the contract terms. Thanks for your help. At last, he's done. Lydia responds with a fake smile. Here's to jolly cooperation. Soler! Dark Souls! Saying so, she takes her place on the lectern and clears her throat to get everyone's attention. The room immediately goes quiet. This instant response is much appreciated. He is used to basking in attention, so she savors the feeling of standing beneath the spotlight. She's going to make this a day to remember. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. First, I'd like to thank everyone who made it here. And then something strange happens. Halfway through her opening speech, the loudspeaker suddenly goes silent. It's not because Lydia isn't saying anything, but because the microphone isn't conveying her words. In addition, the massive projection on the screen behind her, streamed to the world via the communications network that is Connection's pride and joy, has also frozen up. This sudden, unexpected faux pas makes Lydia's face go pale. Thank you, Gambit, for teaching me how to pronounce those. She tries to contact her assistant, but there is no answer. She is left hanging out to dry on the stage, a scenario she never imagined possible. The members of the audience sense her unease and begin whispering among themselves. Lydia cannot bear the way they are looking at her. What's going on? She shouts as loudly as she can while still maintaining her dignity. However, nobody answers her. Her voice has no power here. Despite standing in the middle of a crowd, she is completely isolated. We seem to be experiencing technical difficulties, dear guests. I'll have it sorted in a bit. Carl suddenly steps onto the stage. His voice is strong and resonant, like he was born for this. Come, Lady Lydia. He suddenly grabs her hand and drags her backstage, giving her no room to refuse. This brutish behavior makes Lydia's eyes go wide. She tries to struggle free, but the savage look in Carl's eyes silences her and clears her thoughts. I'm sure you must be dying to know what's going on, so I will tell you. Your beacon control center was shut down just now. The beacon control center was shut down, so that's why this place lost network access, why the microphone didn't work, why her assistant couldn't contact her. But why would it shut down? That massive machine is Connection's crown jewel. It's never been shut down ever since it was built, just like a human's heartbeat can't stop without them dying. Lydia looks at Carl, and she realizes that she's facing her true enemy, one who has just bared his fangs. All she can do is grit her teeth and shut out her weakness in fear, trying to identify his vulnerabilities. To the conglomerate, Connection has always been a gold mine, but you kept such a tight hold on the shares that we couldn't extract any real profit from it. Missing out on exploiting you can be considered one of my father's biggest failures. I guess this counts as salvaging the family reputation. Still, I have to admit, you are an outstanding CEO. I feel like I've learned a lot from you. Looks like you're really deep in the red for this fiscal year. Not at all. Who told you that? Are you in such a hurry to get this done because you want to cover up for that disastrous failure a while ago? I heard there was a vegetable peddler who sparked a revolution in Mokosh and torpedoed your finances, while also driving out all the security forces in the surrounding area. You sure are a sore loser to be spouting such nonsense. Do you think I don't know about your past? Poor little Carl, the drowned puppy. So desperate to win the approval of the adults that you wound up doing such reprehensible work. Ooh. A ringing slap interrupts Lydia's words. How's that? Ever had a taste of that before, young miss? Lydia doesn't recover from her first exposure to physical violence in a long time, but it confirms one thing for her. As Carl dragged her backstage, she felt a big unease. She had issued too many access permits to Carl. She's also certain that as Carl took the stage, there were plenty of corporate mercs in the audience, flashing their weapons. Even if anyone objected to Carl's actions, they probably would not dare to protest. I've had enough of your nagging, so let's be level with each other. Here's what's going to happen next. We are going to make a deal, a big, beautiful deal. I am going to acquire connection from you at a price that is mutually satisfactory. You're going to buy out connection. Dream on! The Sable family has backing in the URNC. You think you can snatch connection away like a barjagger knocking over a hawker stand? You're absolutely right. Doing this sort of thing in the white zone would be very costly and very obvious. It would demand a price so great that even the massive profits from connection couldn't make it worthwhile. But here's the thing, we are on the yellow zone border, Lydia. Didn't you tell me that before? This place has its own rules. You, what are you thinking? Relax, let's take it one step at a time. You definitely deserve the title of Iron Lady, but I doubt your employees are as strong-willed as you are. I hear over 90% of Port Mika's population work for you. Am I wrong? What are you trying to say? You mentioned Mokosh just now, didn't you? People there rebelled against the company, took over the factories, and looted the place clean. That was quite the failure. Still, it made us think, what if it happened somewhere else? Do you know how many people in this city hate and envy you? Do you know how many people want those pretty clothes and that warm house of yours? If they rioted and it led to a tragedy taking place, well, Port Mika would need someone to enforce order and keep production going, no? Perhaps the other members of your family might end up interested in our offer then. Lydia feels her blood running cold. Carl's methods have truly opened her eyes to the true ramifications of the situation. This is both cutting the ground from under the feet and using a surrogate to do the dirty work. It will dismantle connection from the ground up, and innocent people will be framed for that. Once the network goes back up, outsiders will only see that Connection's employees have overthrown their corporate overlords, and that Carl is cleaning up the mess. Meanwhile, this will be just one yellow zone revolution among many. It might even wipe away the stain of the failure in Mokosh, and thus allow him to reap far greater benefits amidst the chaos. Still, we can both learn from this experience. All the problems you're facing today were caused by your lenience. These terrorists calling themselves bugs have a long list of crimes to their name. In fact, they're the most severe symptom of what's wrong with Port Mika. But you may rejoice because I will get rid of that thorn in its side at last. Sadly, they will be removed too late to prevent a tragic murder from taking place. They are just kids, just a bunch of kids who are vying for attention. Couldn't you find anyone with the guts to do dirty work? Do you only have cowards on your payroll? I cannot believe you're actually defending them. Port Mika is a great town. It shouldn't have given rise to this kind of people. It's all because you were too kind and too lenient. Sometimes being too lenient is the same as committing a crime. Mokosh was a lesson for us, and Port Mika will be another. We will make the URNC agree to our increased use of military force in controlling the Yellow Zone. Or else this sort of thing will keep happening. What do you think, Lady Lydia? Lydia's only response is a cold smile. Now that things have reached this point, is the only thing she can do. Don't get mad. I know, I'm just an outsider. At least for now. I shan't question the situation in Port Mika and its practices. By the way, the identity of that gang's leader is right out of a TV drama. Apparently she's your niece. I think she's the ideal candidate for a job I have in mind. She's capable and has a good background. I'm sure everyone will place their trust in her. A young lady who acted rashly and impulsively because she blindly imitated a radical leader, leading to a tragic accident. How's that for a scenario? Are you talking about Zoe? As if she would never obey someone like you. Let's not speak too soon. Take a guess. Who do you think helped me shut down the beacon control center?